Hello everybody and welcome to this week's episode of the Wild Eye Diaries. I'm currently in Johannesburg at our office and I can tell you winter is well and truly set in South Africa. So if you're coming on safari in the next couple of months, make sure you layer up, you bring beanies, bring gloves, because the morning and evenings will be very, very chilly. Talking about safaris, safari season is well and truly kicked in for us with the guys scattered all over the place, and someone who hasn't been in his own bed all that much in the last couple of weeks is Gerry. He just returned from Svalbard, as you guys saw in the last episode, literally spent a day in the office, and he's now on his way to Uganda where he will be hosting our gorilla safari. So firstly, let's catch up with Gerry and see what he's got planned for his safari.
Hey everybody, so I'm still on a plane. We're about 15 minutes from landing in Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in Nairobi. This is where I am. Got upgraded, bonus. But I'm going to spend the night in Nairobi tonight, and tomorrow morning early flying to Entebbe, where I'm going to meet my guests for the first of 2 chimp and gorilla photo safaris. So that includes Kabali National Forest, then off to Queen Elizabeth National Park for 2 nights, and then 3 gorilla tracks for the first safari. And then the second safari is just the gorilla portion, so another 3 gorilla tracks. From there, I'm going to be flying to back to Nairobi, where I'm going to spend 2 nights, I think, just to kind of decompress after the whole thing, get some admin done, catch up and such. And then from there, what's happening then? Oh, then I'm flying to tomorrow, where I'll meet Alistair and Trev, where we're going to start a photo academy for the rangers in the Masai Mara. Now, John will also be joining us. It's an exciting thing. Olympus has come to the party and they've sponsored 6 kits, like telephoto and a wide angle and a camera for 6 of the rangers. We're going to be doing a course with them to help them understand how best to photograph all the amazing things they see all the time, as well as a bit of social media, a little bit of processing, and then from there back to South Africa. So I will be sharing on my Instagram as and when I can. However, I mean, on the mountains with gorillas, I'm not going to be worrying about my phone. I've got other things to worry about, obviously. But yeah, it's going well. It's a crazy time. Everything's spinning, but it's amazing. And I think that's all I have for you for now. So enjoy the rest of this episode. I will catch up with you all at some stage. Anyway, I'm going to get some sleep tonight. Tomorrow, gorilla start. Have a good day, guys. My name is Gerry. I'm from Wild Eye. See you next time.
Awesome stuff, Gerry. Thank you so much for that. I'm sure your guests are looking forward to an amazing experience, and we look forward to catching up with you when you get back to the office. Next up, Marlon has also recently returned from the Lower Zambezi National Park as well as South Luangwa on a privately guided safari. Those are 2 amazing properties. Let's see what Marlon got up to.
Hi everyone, so here I am in Zambia and I've just wrapped up a great safari experience, a private safari where we visited Old Mandoro Camp in the Lower Zambezi as well as Kaingo Camp in South Luangwa. I wanted to share it with you, so please stay tuned, have a look at what's coming up, and I hope the segment that I'm adding is enjoyable as well. Just a few highlights and updates from the safari that I just enjoyed guiding for a great and wonderful guest. Enjoy, guys. Perfect.
bastard.
This is almost the 2,000 kgs.
2,000?
Okay, I'm gonna take one.
But we eat it without the sauce, there's no flavor.
You have to eat it with the sauce.
No ways. The smell puts me off.
It's a fish sauce.
Mm.
It's lekker.
What an epic morning we've just enjoyed here in South Luangwa, and the last 3 days in fact have been beyond anything that we could have imagined. Just a leopard killing a puku right in front of us, being involved in the whole thing from the stalk, beginning to end. A couple of pulse fishing hours last night, and this morning spending time with a big male leopard, beautiful face, so much character, going straight into lions on the hunt on the banks of the Luangwa River. Just absolutely epic, and just so appreciative of what I get to do out here. I mean, being able to spend time in camps as iconic as this. You know, this camp is steeped in history and just such a beautiful location on the banks of the river. Spending time with guests on safari, I think that's the most special. And Sonia, my guest on the safari, just what a pleasure it was to have you with me and being able to introduce you to a place as wild as this, as remote and authentic as South Luangwa. I'll never take this for granted. It's what I love, it's what I do best, it's what I really enjoy, and it's just so special to be out here like this. Yeah, can't ask for any better.
Awesome, Marlon. Thank you so much. Incredible destination, and it looks like you guys had some amazing sightings. If you guys would like to discover this property a little bit more, then please get in touch with us, either from a private guided safari point of view or one of our scheduled safaris. Now, Andrew is also out in the field. He's been in the office for a long time, and he's currently in Botswana, but unfortunately he doesn't have enough Wi-Fi to send us his insert for this week. But here are some of the images of some of the sightings they've had, and by the looks of it, they've had an incredible time so far. But we'll catch up more with Andrew in next week's episode to find out exactly how the safari went. But seeing as that everyone is traveling now, Alistair is also on his way away from home for quite a bit, and part of it is not on safari, part of it is in Croatia, and then he'll be heading to the Masai Mara after that to host our Masai Mara workshop, which is a new offering we'll be giving from this year on. So let's catch up with Alistair. He's going to take us through the packing and also necessities that he takes on safari.
Hello everybody and welcome to this week's episode of the Wild Eye Diaries hosted by Johan. Slightly shorter insert from me this week. The week has been quite busy as is usual in the office, and I also spent yesterday evening packing for 2 trips, one for Kenya where Trevor and I will be heading up towards the end of June to host a wildlife photo academy in the Masai Mara at our new Wild Eye camp, which is very, very exciting. And then of course, as I mentioned I think 2 episodes ago, I'll be heading off to Croatia this weekend with my family for the next week or so. So I had quite a bit of packing to do, and I thought just to be slightly different this week, I'll take you behind the scenes to where I did some packing. I won't bore you with the details of how I packed for Croatia. Thankfully it's a lot warmer than what Johannesburg is at the moment, so packing has made it a little bit easier. But I'll take you through my process for packing for a wildlife photographic safari, especially considering the fact that it's my first trip to Kenya. So let's go behind the scenes to packing at my house last night. Here it goes.
Right, so the one thing you'll notice about safari packing is that it's always a bit manic. You find documents and camera bags and GoPro bags. Not quite sure what those are doing there, but bags, calendar for the year, safari planner, what safaris are coming up next. And then I'll take you into the next room where everything has been laid out on the floor. So we'll start with the back. I like to have a couple of good pair of boots. So 2 pairs of boots on the outside and then a nice pair of what we call veldskoen in the middle, and that'll ensure that I've got a nice comfortable set of boots for the time that I'll be spending in Kenya in the next 3 weeks. Obviously a nice big duffel bag, nice to travel with a duffel bag because it's nice and soft and pretty easy to manage and maneuver when out on safari. It can be quite tricky to travel with a hard case. And even then, some airlines don't allow you to take hard cases on some of the smaller hops, particularly that we'll be doing within the Mara. Probably most importantly is my travel document over here from the travel clinic, which is my yellow fever certificate, which you will need to travel to Kenya. We have outlined details like this in our new pre-departure documents that I've been working on. A buff, always crucial to have a buff on safari with you, a beanie, a couple of pairs of long pants, a couple of pairs of shorts, some socks, and then we've got obviously the Wild Eye hat and a number of Wild Eye uniform shirts that we would wear. A rain jacket, crucial, and beneath the rain jacket I've got a fleece. Layering up is pretty crucial, particularly when you go to areas that are a little bit colder than what you would expect in Kenya. Obviously a Wild Eye jacket and one other jacket just in case. The temperature in Kenya is pretty much moderate all year round, but now in June it's probably going to be pretty cool and quite chilly mornings and early evenings with moderate days. So I'm probably taking 1 or 2 mini jackets, but rather be safe than sorry. And then I've got a headlamp. It's really useful to walk around camp at night with a headlamp, and then a smaller torch that I actually have attached to my belt when I'm out on safari to help guests with the vehicle after an evening game drive, and just generally to and from the lodge. A torch always comes in handy. So that's pretty much all I'm going to be packing to go to Kenya. Like I said, I like to work from the ground up, so shoes, socks, and then pants and shirts and everything like that, and basically trying to pack as light as possible. It's quite easy to pack for safari, particularly when you've done it quite a few times. You just kind of know what to expect and where everything goes. So that's it from a clothes perspective. And back into the other room, and arguably most importantly, is my camera bag. And I haven't packed this quite yet. I'll do the final packing as soon as I get back from Croatia, but I've literally got one night when I get back from Croatia to pack all final things before heading off to the Masai Mara. So it's an f-stop bag. A number of the guys on the team have got these bags at the moment, or at least testing them, and they're really great. This is not all the gear that I'm going to be taking. I'm going to be taking a little bit more. But what I find always useful to have in the camera bag, apart from the cameras, of course, is a pair of binoculars, especially in the Masai Mara when it's great open plains. It's nice to see what's happening out in the distance. I've got a Sigma 70-200, a Sigma 150-600, a Nikon D4S, and I'll probably be renting a camera body from the office. And then, of course, chargers and memory cards and everything else that goes along with what you would expect to see in a camera bag is all in there. So that's basically it. Between the camera bag, all the other luggage and the clothes that you just saw, that's my packing pretty much done for Kenya Masai Mara.
All right, and there you have it. It's a little inside view into how I would pack for a safari. There's a couple of do's and don'ts and a few must-haves in the bag. It's very important to understand where you're going to be traveling and at what time of year. The variance in weather can change even within country. There are parts of South Africa where in certain times of the year you might require jerseys and jackets for early mornings and early evenings, and other areas of the country where you might not. So just be very aware of where you're traveling and at what time of the year and what kind of weather patterns you might experience during your stay. And if you're doing a wild eye safari, which I hope you will, or thank you if you have, those kind of details will be in our pre-departure documents in terms of weather or the general climate of the area, what to pack, what to expect. All that kind of detail is really, really important. But packing generally for a safari, if you include the basic sort of items that you've seen in that video over there, then I think you are good to go. So like I said, slightly shorter insert from me this week, quite a bit of packing and a last minute stuff to do in the office today before heading off to Germany first tomorrow and then off to Croatia after that. So I might be a little bit offline for the next couple of days. I won't be as active on social media as you would normally expect from me, but I will be checking emails and Instagram posts periodically. So I look forward to engaging with you, and I'll chat to you when I get back. Cheers for now.
Awesome stuff, Al. Thank you so much for that update. Good luck with Croatia, and we also look forward to hearing what you experienced in the Masa Mara for the first time, and also seeing images of the new Wild Eye Mara camp. Now, as some of you guys will know, that the post-processing has become a big part in digital photography. Last week, Mike shared some valuable shortcuts in Lightroom, and this week, he's going to take us through some more Lightroom tips, and let's see what Mike got up to this week.
Hello everyone from a somewhat extremely cold Johannesburg. Today is warming up at least. I can sit outside for longer than 5 minutes. This past week has been extremely cold here in Johannesburg, but I'm happy to say that it is warming up. But when it comes to the activity in the Wild Eye office, things have been extremely productive, been having a good time, a couple of good laughs, and a lot of work has been done. For me this week, I have focused mainly on Lightroom, and I helped one of our guests set up a new Lightroom catalog and sorting his files, getting things ready, and just giving him a refresher as to how to work in Lightroom and a good workflow within. And it didn't end there for me. I also did a lot of Lightroom tutorials in Office, one being a behind the frame series where I processed an elephant image. And the reason for this particular video or behind the frames episode is to stress the fact that you do not have to use every single slider in Lightroom when it comes to processing your images. And that particular elephant image or video clip that you just saw is only a 6-step process, where the seventh step is actually the export. You'll see coming up next, I also did a rhino image. I'm stressing the same fact. But this particular image I put into a blog where I discussed and wrote about the simplicity is sometimes more when it comes to processing your image. That particular blog or that edit I did on that image was only a 5-step edit, and I only stayed within the basic panel. So it was a crop and a few changes in the basic panel, and I got a pretty cool looking end result. If you would like to read the whole blog or watch the whole Behind the Frames episode, please check the description below. The links will be provided there, and I look forward to hearing from you and your thoughts of those two processing techniques. And that's it for me for this week, short and sweet. I look forward to the next episode, and have a lovely weekend. Cheers for now.
Great stuff, Mike. Thank you so much for that. A reminder for you guys, if you want to see the full episodes, go and click on the links in the description and also under our blogs. It's all there for you. Now, Trevor's also been busy with some Lightroom private tutorials, which is another offering that we offer either at the Wild Eye office or at the comfort of your home. So Trevor was with one of our guests, Sally, recently. Let's see what he has to say for this week.
Hello everyone, and I hope that you are enjoying this episode of the Wild Eye Diaries so far. It's hard to believe that another week has flown by. We're getting increasingly busy, not just myself, but the whole Wild Eye team. And this week, Al and I focused a lot on our trip to Kenya later on this month, where we're going to be hosting a photo academy. We are both extremely excited to be heading up to Kenya, experiencing the Masai Mara and seeing the Wild Eye camp. It's going to be nice for us to experience it ourselves and just get an idea of what our guests over the next coming months are going to experience as well. So there's been a lot of planning, finalizing and arranging, making sure that everything is set in place for when we do go. And apart from that, I had one of our Wild Eye guests, Sally Anthony, who's been on numerous safaris with us over the last couple of years, come into the office and spend a full day with myself. And we covered a variety of things. We chatted a little bit about photography, but our main focus was Lightroom. Sally wasn't feeling too confident with certain aspects of Lightroom, and it was great to have the one-on-one time and an extended period of time just to be able to sit down and focus on certain aspects of Lightroom and give her a better understanding of the whole process, and just give her a little bit of confidence going forward. It was a great day, really enjoyable, nice to finally meet Sally and just get to know her a little bit better. Other than that, going forward, very busy times ahead, and for me this week, that's about it. And I hope that you all have a wonderful week further and enjoy the rest of the diaries.
Great stuff, Trev. Thank you so much for that update. Now, as I mentioned, safari season is kicking off well and truly in the Wild Eye office. It's a little bit more than 3 weeks before our first week of the Masai Mara experience starts, where I'll be heading up there for 2 weeks, and then also heading on a private safari to Twalu on Monday. So the guys are all over the place, so a lot of good content coming your way. But as always, if there's anything else that you guys would like us to share with you, please do not hesitate to give us a shout. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Wild Eye Diaries, and we'll catch up with you again next week. Cheers for now.